we've never talked Charlie's Angels, and that was such a big one for you at the time. I mean,
Somebody,
what
there was a rumor that maybe they're doing another one with Drew and Lucy and Cameron, but I don't know.
it
Did you hear
sounds like
that?
they've been trying to. Yeah, it sounds like there
Yeah,
have been rumblings in
yeah,
recent years. That wouldn't surprise
yeah,
me. Was that a big deal for you? I mean, you have such a nice turn
yeah,
in that. Like, I mean, I was just watching on YouTube, like the scene where you kind of your reveal as the bad guy is a fun kind of like like a oneer that turns on
yeah,
you. There's a little dancing, some music, and you kind of get to like show your true colors. What are your memories
yeah.
of taking that one on?
Well, I have to say, that was a very much Nancy Javonen and Drew Barrymore and McGee. They really created an environment. I came on early with that thing, and I had a lot of people tell me, like, including I think Phil, like, don't do that. I think Phil said, don't do that. And then I brought Phil to the premiere at the Ziegfeld,
Wow,
and Phil never would admit that he was wrong. And he said, you know what? I was wrong. This was a good idea.
that movie
And
works. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, it really works. And everybody was like, there was like 16, 17 writers,
yeah, yeah,
and I think only one of them was a woman.
yeah,
And it's a movie about women.
yeah.
And you know, I met Nancy Jabone, and we she talked about a few things, and then she said, you should meet McGee. He's doing Charlie's Angels. Met McGee. We talked about all these weird references. He said, listen, the script is not ready. Do you want to just go in and read with Drew? We can keep it loose. I said, well, yeah, but what are we going to read if the script's not really ready? And he said, and we were talking about the movie Foul Play.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, Chevy
And we were
Chase.
talking about
Yeah,
Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn on the
yeah,
boat,
yeah.
the scene where he's in the robe and they've got, and I forget, there's a couple of great lines in that. But so we said, let's just read the scene from Foul Play. And that was my audition for Charlie's Angels. And then I think somebody brought like a boombox and put some music on. Drew and I danced, and that was my audition.
Amazing.
And then it was sort of on, and we said, let's do this kind of like Spike Jones, Bill Gates kind of guy, um, who is kind of like um, turns into Richard Gere in American Gigolo or Ray Liotta in Something Wild. And that was the pitch for the character.
Yeah,
And we are trying to figure out a way to do that reveal.
yeah.
And then my friend and I were playing music, and we found that Marvin Gaye song, "Gotta Give It Up." And I think we pitched that to McGee, and "Gotta Give It Up" was the song where the character
Yeah.
literally transitions into the bad guy. And we had this like muscle tee, and he'd been wearing this loose clothing up until then, and it was a very clever idea, and I don't know how we pulled it off, but we did, and we just made him kind of crunchy before that.
It's fun because it's like, yeah, as an actor, you kind of like immediately alter kind of like your physicality, and that tells
Yeah,
everything, right? Like you're like, oh shit, like this is the
no,
guy.
we were definitely trying to do a Kaiser Soze
Right, right.
thing, and it kind of worked. And
Yeah,
then Drew had sent us this VHS tape. That's how long ago this was, with all these inspiration clips, like a reel of inspiration. And it was everything from Grease to anime to like uh Saturday Night Fever to,
right.
I mean, it was everything. I'd love to see that reel right now and see what that's. I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
Um, because she put it together, and it was really, you sort of got the tone.
yeah.
And the tone was weird, man. The tone was weird. It was not clear. It was like popcorn meets cutesy meets Bill Murray's Crispin Glover's in it, and fucking,
That's
it's
that.
wacky thing. It was
It
a wacky movie.
it's a miracle of a movie that it works, frankly,
It's
because
a
given
mirror, and Tim
everything you
Curry's in
talked
it. I mean,
about.
it's nuts. The
Yeah,
movie's
it shouldn't
nuts.
work. It shouldn't work, but it
Yeah,
does. And then
yeah,
it
it
collapsed in
does.
the second one because that kind of thing only happens once,
Sure, sure,
right.
sure, exactly.